All right, so I will introduce you. So joining us today on behalf of Thornwood High School, home of the Lady Thunderbirds, she is the 2019-2020 NCAA Naismith Defensive Player of the Year award winner, leading the Baylor Bears to the 2019 NCAA championship. So technically, with the COVID-19 pandemic and the NCAA tournament cancellation last year, the Lady Bears are still our defending NCAA champs. She is a five-star recruit from the recognized by the Jordan brand, McDonald's All-American performer, left Cypress Ranch High School, home of the Mustangs, as the school's all-time leading scorer. Please give a huge, warm South Side of Chicago welcome to a young lady who is on the Mount Rushmore of all-time greats in the proud 176-year legacy of Baylor Bear basketball, the legendary guard Didi Richards.
What a welcoming.
Well, with your illustrious career thus far, it definitely makes the introduction that much easier. So thank you.
Hmm.
So first of all, you have such a huge fan base, especially with the young ladies here in the city of Chicago. Have you ever been to Chicago?
I've been to Chicago once. I'm actually fibbing. I've been for the McDonald's All American game. That's where it was hosted. And then I went to a couple of the Chicago Sky Wnba games because our former point guard Chloe Jackson was drafted there, and I went to
Yeah.
some of her games.
Oh wow. Okay,
Hmm.
okay, okay. So you had a great experience in Chicago with the weather.
I love Chicago. I saw the Bean, I think.
Yeah, yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. I think Buckingham, close to the Buckingham Fountain, close to Grant Park.
Right. I took
Yep.
pictures there. I had to. If you go to Chicago, you kind of have to. And I love the food. I'm a pizza girl.
Oh
So,
wow, wow. So Giordano's, Lou
yes.
Malnati's. So next time you're in Chicago, please visit our school and our young ladies, and we'll make sure we take care of you on the Giordano's front.
Yes, sir. For sure.
No, definitely. Um, Before I go into the one of the questions that I'm reading a question from Christina. Have you begun scouting for your next opponent, the Kansas State Lady Wildcats? I know you just finished off a huge Big 12 win last night.
No, we haven't. We normally do it about 2 days before or, right after the last game, which is today. So after this call, that's where we're going. We're going to scout.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, what at what point in t- what at what time and moment did you feel as though being a basketball leader was your true calling?
I think I would say, growing up in middle school, going against my brother at the park, I was like, okay. I'd be going against all the guys, and all the guys would be kind of looking at me like for the next answer. And I'm like, oh, well then let's do this. So I kind of knew that I was gonna play basketball after that, playing around with my brother really.
Mhm. What is one message that you would like to share with the many young ladies that would like to become the next Didi Richards?
Don't My biggest thing that I kind of live by is not letting other people define my future. Back in the day, whenever I would be playing basketball, they would just say that, girls can't play basketball. I think girls say that all the time. So if I would have let little boys like that, define my future, then I probably wouldn't be who I am today. So that's probably my biggest thing is not letting, whether that's a guy, you're a girl, your teacher or something. I mean, as long as you're respectful, then don't let anybody define what you have to do with your life because at the end of the day, it's your life.
Mhm. Amira wants to ask, how long are the average times for a workout before an upcoming Big 12 battle?
It kind of depends on the time of year. Once you at the beginning of the season, you're looking at like, 2.5 solid practice, just getting better type whenever you're preparing for it. But around this time, Coach Mooky is starting to see, our bodies are starting to wear out. We've been playing for so long, we've been playing since November. So around like February, March, our practice kind of get a little shorter and they get a little, more stagnant. We're kind of just doing a lot of walkthroughs now. So this is the
Mhm.
best time of the year.
Yeah. How much has Coach Mooky meant to your career and essentially, giving you the keys and trusting you so much on both sides of the floor, offensively and defensively?
Oh, so much. It's kind of an honor to be able to even being coached and led by someone as legendary as Coach Mooky is. And it's like you don't ever realize it until you kind of sit back and look at her accolades and stuff. And when they talk about her before games, it's kind of like, I am playing for someone like a Hall of Famer. And
Yeah.
so she's so dominant on the court and being able to just, watch her and learn from her has really shaped my game into what it is, especially today, me being the point guard now. Um, Learning from one of the best point guards to ever go through La Tech or even play in the NCAA is kind of, amazing. And it's the reason why I'm, doing as well as I am now.
Mhm. Um, Take us back, because take us back to Saturday, October 24th, the scrimmage where you suffered at the time a serious spinal cord injury that threatened your basketball career. What inspired you to fight and fight and fight and fight your way back onto the floor? Everyone here in Chicago collectively, universally, had you in our prayers when we first found out and saw the clip. Um, what kept motivating you that I need to get back on the court as soon as possible?
Um, I think I would have to say my teammates. I mean, if I wasn't going to do it at the end of the day, I was going to do it for myself. It was hard to see or even, wake up and not be able to feel anything. That was like probably the hardest thing I kind of had to go through. But it was my teammates by far. They were so loving, so caring, and like, they were with me every step of the way, every doctor's visit, every Zoom call I had to do with, different neurosurgeons. They were just there. They were helping me go get something to eat. So I think I just wanted to get back for them. It was again back to what I said before. Defining your faith was what gave me, the fight that I had. After every doctor's office, they would basically say that there's no telling when you'll be able to walk in, if you'll even be able to walk in. So I mean, if I would have just went into a hole and felt sorry for myself, then I would have, still been on that walker. So I think my, the model that I've been living by since I was younger, which is, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be able to, between me and God, we're gonna figure it out. So I think
Mhm.
that's what really got me through it.
Yeah. And if there was a Naismith award, you know what it takes to win a Naismith award, hardware for defensive player of the year. If there was a Naismith award for the best trainer in all of sports, tell us why Alex, the legendary Alex Olson, should hoist that trophy.
Honestly, because I'm pretty sure there's no trainer that had to go through a player that was temporarily paralyzed after a collision. That was probably one of his most serious, injuries that he had to ever, deal with the player. So watching him really get beat up, like I had to sit there and watch him get beat up by people above him because he was trying to go around. We have to go see this neurosurgeon. We have to drive to Houston. We have to go to Dallas, and they were just like, Alex, it's calm down. But regardless of what anyone said to him, he was like, I'm gonna figure out like what it is and how we can fix it. And to this day, I'm forever grateful for him just being there for me and always looking for the next best thing. When they told him no, then he would find something else, and when they said no, then he would find someone else. So it was just great being in his hands throughout the time that I was injured.
Mhm. The Lady Bears have a phenomenal nucleus of veteran leadership and young talent, currently sitting at 18-2 overall, 13-1 in Big 12 action. With yourself, Moon, Urson, Nalisha Smith, Dejanay Carrington, Queen Egbo. What are the expectations for the Bears this season? Is it NCAA? Is it back to back NCAA championship or bust?
That's the plan. With this team, it's kind of it's crazy, you know. I think you can put the ball in anybody's hand and somebody's going to score for you. And then not only that, our team takes defensively so seriously, you know. So it's not just me on that end. It's kind of Moon. You can put Moon anywhere. You can put DJ anywhere. And they have, if we get beat, you have Bliss and Queen blocking shots. So I can see us going real far and we're doing real good. So I'm excited.
Mm. You personally, who was the toughest? Who was your toughest one-on-one opponent? We our school recently interviewed Chelsea Dungy from Arkansas,
Mhm.
for example, and she brought you up. She brought your name up as one of her toughest opponents. So, who was your toughest one-on-one opponent?
It's definitely right now, I'd have to say Enrique Agumbawale.
Mm,
Which is crazy because her and Chelsea Dempsey are kind of built the exact same, you know, and that's kind
mhm,
of when I struggle is when you're kind of, you know, you're a bigger guard. And so when you're able to kind of bully me, get to the basket and, you know, get and ones, it kind of challenges me. You know, I'm a smaller, I'm longer, but I'm
yeah.
still, you know, wiry. So that's usually, you know, people I struggle against is, you know, bigger like Chelsea Dempsey, Enrique Gumbawale. So, but right now I'm definitely going to say Enrique.
Mhm. Have you have you found yourself looking ahead to the WNBA? We're getting so many reports of you being a high first round pick in the WNBA. Have you allowed yourself to look ahead, or are you're obviously strictly focused on Final Four and defending your NCAA crown right now?
Definitely, the last one. I'm real focused on, you know, what's going on right now and what's going on here. But, you know, in the back of your head, you're always gonna wonder what's next. And I'm definitely, you know, I'm at a rock and a hard place right now. I think I have probably me and all the seniors actually kind of have one of the hardest decisions, unless you're a top five pick. It's kind of like I can't come back, you know, because at the end of the day, WNBA is not making the money that the NBA is making. So it's
Mm,
like I can get my master's degree if I come back, and then on the other hand, I can, you know, explore the different world, explore somewhere else type. So I don't know. I'm in a weird spot right now and I'm, you know, taking it day by day, but it's kind of hard whenever you have a team that's good that's going to be going this far. So it might come to the last day when I finally make a decision. Who knows?
yeah. Who was your basketball inspiration growing up, and who do you pattern your outstanding two-way play game um, against?
Honestly, growing up, I was more of a you know, Candace Parker kind of girl. I was younger.
She's in Chicago now.
Right. I was definitely more of a Candace Parker. But I think now, because you know, our games are completely different. And so now I'm more, I like love watching Elena Deladon. She's like
Oh
a
man,
big girl that can kind of do a little bit of everything. You know, I'm
absolutely.
not nearly as tall as her, but she can bring
Mhm,
the ball up at any given time. She can go post up. So that's kind of who I kind of want to eventually model after whenever
mhm.
I can.
Yep, yep. And then you're to me to us you're like the female version of like the NBA we love Jimmy Butler because Jimmy Butler like he doesn't have to score like 30 points a night. Like there's one day the Heat will ask him, or even when he was with the Bulls, uh they would ask him to score 30 points one night. Or the next night, we need you to get like 5 steals.
Right.
Or the next night we need you to get 4 blocks. The next night we need you to get 12 rebounds, and we don't need the points. We can get the points elsewhere. So you're so versatile and one of the more versatile talents of our generation. Um, how gratifying is it to have that skill where you know you can dominate in one you can dominate in 5 different areas, but based around what the team needs on a given night.
That's kind of like, that's always what I've wanted to be. My dad always was, whenever I was growing up, he'd just be like, whenever you get somewhere, just be that player that can't take off the court. And honestly, that is defense. If you can play defense, whether I'm scoring 0 points, as long as you're not scoring 0 points, it's an even game. You know what I'm saying? So with Coach Mooky being, the coach she is, she will tell you what she needs. And if you perform that to, the best of your ability, then you're definitely not coming off the court. And so Coach Mooky definitely made it easier for me because she would be, Didi, I need you to get 10 rebounds this game. Didi, I need you to get 12 assists this game. Didi, I need you to actually score this game. And I'm like, okay, So that's what made it kind of easier being, versatile, or even me being, 6'1", 6'2", it's makes it a little easier.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Okay, absolutely. What songs motivate you the most when you're working out?
I'm more of a slow song kind of girl. So I like to turn on Kehlani when I'm lifting or shooting, or I like to turn on Sam Smith. So it kind of varies, but I like to definitely take the notch down a little bit.
Absolutely. And then last question from Christina. How has the COVID-19 pandemic affected you, and how do you feel the pandemic will change the sports world, short term and long term? At like your home games, for example, do you have a capacity fans that you're letting in the arena right now?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Great question. But COVID is taking a toll, not only on me, but on, everybody in the world. But it's just weird right now. I think once we get used to it, hopefully we don't have to get used to it. But I think once we get used to it, everything will be moving like a lot smoother. I don't really know how many fans we can have. How many fans? 2,300. We're allowed 2,300, which is, terrible. But I mean, it's just cool because some schools, when we go to
Because that's like 10% of your capacity, I believe.
right, 25%.
Okay.
So it's crazy because you're thankful for having the little fans that you can get, because whenever you go to your away games, some schools can't have any fans, and you're sitting there, you're hearing every shoe squeak, you're hearing every bad word the opponent has to say, or you're just hearing everything, and it's just weird. But it's definitely affected everyone, but me personally, it's just affected me because I'm kind of hesitant to go see my grandparents, because I don't know what I'm contracting at the end of the day. I just know that my immune system is a lot stronger than theirs. And I think that's the only thing that's getting me, is I'm not able to see my grandparents as much. And they're not able to come to a lot of my games. That's the only thing, really.
Well, we do hope that before the end of the season, the capacity restrictions are lengthened, to allow more of a capacity at the Farrell Center, because that's one of the more dominant home field advantages in all of sports, whether it be NBA, college.
Mm-hmm.
That arena is special. So we definitely hope that the capacity has an uptick before the Big 12 conference tournament time.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you so very much joining us on behalf of Thornwood High School and our Lady Thunderbirds, our girls basketball team, and our girls mentoring program. Please don't be a stranger. We'll reach out after the Baylor Lady Bears hoist that back-to-back championship trophy. We'll keep our fingers crossed that we can catch up with you once again before the WNBA draft this spring.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you. Get those Lady Wildcats this coming Saturday, and
Yes, sir.
continue that momentum. And we'll be rooting for you all the way to Chicago, from
Thank you
Chicago.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle.